Hi guys, so how are you doing? Hope you're preparing for the exams. Okay, so in today's class we are going to see the topic of noun. Okay, so let's see noun. What do you know about noun? What are the things that you have heard about noun so far? Okay, so in this session I'll be asking you questions. This may not be a live class. Okay, I'm just asking you. You can or cannot reply. Like you can reply in your mind. Okay. Okay. So noun is what we basically call as name. Okay, name. Okay. So we name some things and we don't name something. So what are the things that we name, that we give name to? Okay, what are the things that we give name to? Can you give me some examples? Like we name ourselves, right? We name ourselves. That is, we name persons. Okay, next. We name animals. Okay, next. And then the places. And person, place, animal, and non-living things as well, right? Non-living things. And we may also include feelings. Okay, feelings and emotions. Okay. So see, noun is what we call as, what we can say is name of a person. Name of a person, place, animal, thing, or feeling. Okay. Okay. So do you remember any types of noun? Do you remember types of noun that you have read while you were in around second standard, third standard, around those grades? Okay. Have you heard about like types of noun? Do you remember any one of them? Okay, there are many types of nouns. Okay, there are on average 7 to 8 nouns. Okay, so we'll see them one by one. Okay, so the first one is concrete noun. The first one is concrete noun. Okay, concrete nouns are those nouns that we can touch. Those nouns that we can touch and they physically exist. Concrete nouns are those nouns that we can touch and they exist physically. Okay, they physically exist. Okay, so for example, I can say the ball is on the floor. Okay, the ball is on the floor. Here, ball is what we call as concrete noun. Ball, we can touch it, right? We can touch the ball and it exists physically. Okay, so next one is abstract noun. So abstract noun are those things that we cannot touch. Okay, we cannot touch, we can only feel them and they don't exist physically. Okay, they do not have any physical form. That is what we call as abstract noun. Example, bravery is not everyone's cup of tea. Okay, hope you guys know what cup of tea means. Okay, cup of tea means very easy. Okay, very easy. Okay, bravery is not everyone's cup of tea. That is, everyone can do it. Okay, now here what we are talking about is bravery. Okay, bravery is not everyone's cup of tea. So here bravery is the abstract noun. Okay, so next one, material noun. Material nouns are the nouns we use to denote raw materials. Okay, we can say the wood, plastic, or cotton, wool, silk, anything. Okay, we can name it anything. Okay, so the raw materials what we use to make something, the raw materials, that is what we call material noun. Okay, here we have an important hint, very important hint, that is, you can write it down. Never use any article with material nouns. Never use any article with material nouns. Okay, for example, I can say platinum is a costly metal. Platinum is a costly metal. Okay, here platinum is the material noun. Here you shouldn't say the platinum or a platinum. Okay, you should never use articles with material noun. Write down a hint, that is, never use. Okay, hope you guys know what articles mean. Yeah, never use articles with material noun. Okay, so articles are what we know, that is a and the. Okay, a and the are articles. Never use articles with material noun. Okay, so next one is common noun and proper noun. Okay, next one is common noun and proper noun. Okay, so this one we will study it comparatively. Okay, common noun is when we talk about something in general. Okay, and proper noun is when we specify one thing in that general. Okay, common noun is when we talk about something in general, and proper noun is when we specify one thing out of the general thing. Okay, see, for example, when I say man, a man, I saw a man, okay, I saw a man yesterday. Okay, so man can denote anyone from men. Okay, among men it can denote any person. In general, it can denote any person. Okay, but when I say Ram, I saw Ram yesterday. I saw a man yesterday. I saw Ram yesterday. Okay, that's a difference, right? Now I'm specifying that single person whose name is Ram. Okay, now I'm specifying a single person. Okay, so when I talk about something in general, I use common noun, and when I specify something in that general, I use proper noun. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll give you some examples for common noun, and you have to give example for its proper noun. Can you do that? Okay, can you answer something? Okay, see, for example, when I say religion, can you give me an example for proper noun for religion? Can you give me an example? Proper noun. Okay, it can be Hindu or Jainism. Okay, anything, Jain or something. Okay, then company. When I say company, I say anything in general. Okay, now when I say TCS, I'm specifying one in the general. Okay, then day, month, city, you can name it anything. Okay, again Tuesday, April, that's when I was born. Okay, city, Bangalore. Okay, so this is what we call common and proper nouns. Common nouns is what we talk in general, and proper noun is when we specify a thing in common. So the next one, we'll see collective nouns. Okay, collective nouns are what we call when we name something for a group of things. Okay, when there is a group of things and we give it a single name. When there is a group of things and we give it a single name, that is what we call collective noun. For example, we can say, when I say, what do you call a group of players? What do you call a group of players? What do you call a group of players? What do you say them? Okay, you call them team, right? A group of players are team. Okay, in the same way, what do you call a group of students? Group of students. What do you call a group of students? Class. That's right, class. Okay. What do you call a group of employees? What do you call a group of employees? Okay, we call them staff. Okay, I saw all the staffs today. Okay, this sentence is very wrong. I saw all the staffs today. Okay, never use a word staffs. There isn't a word that exists as staffs. Never use it. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a single person or more than one. You should always use staff and not staffs. Okay, never use staffs. Okay. So in the same way, I can give you some examples like group of, we all know keys. We say no, bunch of keys. Okay, so next one, bunch of keys, then bees. We have swarm of bees, and then we have flight of stairs. Okay, so we know all of them. Okay, this is the basic concept. That is, when there is a group of things and we give it a single name for all those things together. Okay, when there is a group of things, okay, person or things or places, whatever it is, and we give them a single name. We give them a single name. That is what we call collective noun. Okay, now we will see about countable and uncountable nouns. Countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, so countable nouns. What do you mean by countable and uncountable? Things that we can count are countable, things we cannot count are uncountable. Okay, can you give me some examples for countable noun? Say it to yourself, say it to yourself. Examples for countable noun. You can say cat, chair, table, pen, board. Okay, all these are countable nouns. Okay, when I say uncountable, the first thing that comes to most of your brains are, first thing that comes to your brain, that is stars, right? Yeah, stars are not uncountable, they are countable. Stars are countable, they are not uncountable. Okay, I'll tell you the major difference between countable and uncountable. The major difference is, say, for uncountable nouns, there is only one form, that is singular form. And for countable, we have two forms, that is singular as well as plural. Okay, for countable nouns, we have singular as well as plural. For example, when I say cat, I can say cat, which is singular. I can also say cats, which is plural. Okay, so singular and plural, we have two forms. But for uncountables, we have only one form, that is singular form alone. Okay, for example, now I'll give you two sentences. Whether see whether it is correct or not. Okay, for example, the first sentence is, I'm saying, I can see one bright star tonight. I can see one bright star tonight. Okay, I can see one bright star tonight. Okay, so is this sentence correct or not? Is this sentence grammatically correct or not? I can see one bright star tonight. Okay, so this one is right? Okay, I'll give you the second sentence. Second sentence we can say, okay, the three stars are in linear. The three stars are in linear, which means they are in the straight line. Okay, so is this sentence correct or not? Okay, again, this one is also right. Okay, so the previous one we used, I can see one bright star, which is singular. Okay, in the second sentence I used, I can see the three stars are in linear. Stars, which is in plural. Okay, so stars is plural, star is singular. So now we have two forms. So that means it cannot be included into uncountables. It can always be used as countable. Okay, I'll give you the general idea. What we are trying to say is, of course, we cannot count all the stars in the sky. Of course, we can't do that. But we can count the stars according to constellation, right? In this constellation, these stars make up to this shape. Like they form a Taurus, they form a Scorpio, they form a Leo. We can say now, we are actually all this Taurus, Leo, all these are formed only by the constellations, right? Okay, so we can count the stars by constellations. Okay, so that's why they are saying stars are countable and not uncountable. Okay, so that's why you cannot give an example as star here. Okay, you cannot say stars are uncountable. So give me some other example like water, sugar, rice, wine, wheat, oil. Okay, so these things are uncountable. Okay, so I've already told you, that is to mention how much, is there. We can use a singular form as well as plural form, singular or plural, depending upon what we are trying to say. Okay, here we always use singular form, that is right, no error in that, but we used to denote, like how much is present, we have to denote something, right? So we say, we always use measures, that is a cup of tea, a liter of milk, a kg of wheat, a pound of sugar, a gallon of wine. Okay, so that's what we say. We always tell them in measures. Okay, how much we have, we denote them in measures. Okay, now when you ask the question of the quantity, how do you ask? As a question of quantity, like how many or how much? Which one will you use for countable nouns? How many or how much? Of course, for countable nouns, we always use how many. Okay, and for uncountable nouns, we always use how much. Okay, now I'll tell you a word. S-O-M-E, sum. We have a word, right? Sum. Okay, so tell me, with which noun do you use sum? Countable or uncountable? With which nouns do you use sum? With countable nouns or with uncountable nouns? Okay, we can use with uncountable, right? We can say there is only some juice is left in the glass. Only some juice is left in the jar, we can say. Okay, we can also use them, we can also use it here in this countable as well. Okay, we can say only some students came today. Only some students came today. So some can be used with countable as well as with uncountable. Okay, and I have one more thing, that is, see, few, a few, the few. Okay, we have three things: few, a few, the few. Can you give me an explanation? What do you mean by few? What do you mean by a few? What do you mean by the few? Few, a few, the few. What is that? What is the difference between them? Okay, I'll tell you. Few means zero, nothing, nil, empty. Okay, few means zero, nothing, nil, empty. If I tell you few students came today, if I tell you few students came today, what do you mean? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Few students came today. It means no students came that day. It means no students came, because few is zero, nothing, nil, empty, nothing. Okay? Okay. When I say a few, only some. It means some. When I say a few, it means some. When I tell you a few students came today, which means some students came today. Okay? And when I say the few, all the students, when I say the few, I'm denoting a category of person or people or thing that is already present, but a complete one. Okay, they are not more, they are not much more. Okay, they are not many, but they are in very little quantity or quality, but still I'm denoting them. I'm not eliminating any one of them. Okay, when I say the few, it means the a few which is present there. When I say the few, it means a few which is present there. Okay, which is, when I say the few students who came today are missing right now. The few students who came today are missing right now. Only a few students came, and all of them are missing. All of them, all of the a few are missing. So that's what we call as the few. Okay. In the same way, we have little, a little, the little. It denotes the same meaning. Little means nothing, nil or empty. A little means something. Again, the little means denoting the lesser quantity of all. Okay. So the difference is now few or little. One of them belongs to countable and one of them to uncountable. Okay. So which one is countable and which one is uncountable? Few or little? Which one is countable and which one is uncountable? Okay, I used an example like few students, right? Which is, students are countable or uncountable? Obviously countable. So few we use with countable nouns. Okay, few, a few, the few, fewer. Okay, fewer we use for comparative degree. Fewer if we use for comparative degree, we'll see them in adjective class on detail. Okay, just know these things exist. Okay, that's all. Now we have little, a little, little, a little, the little, and we have lesser or less. We use both for comparative. Okay. Okay. So now what we have been seeing is just the basic concept of noun. We have not gone through any grammar point so far. We have not gone through any grammatical rule or grammatical explanation so far. We have been seeing the concept that we saw while we were a school going students. Okay, that was a very long time ago, right? So I have to remind you guys what these things are. Without knowing all these things, you will not be able to understand the concept of grammar. So that's why I've had to tell you all these things. Okay, so let's see. Now we are going to see the topic. So first one, point number 1. Okay, for now we'll see point number 1, formation of possessive case. and it is usually denoted by apostrophe s. Okay, formation of possessive case usually denoted by apostrophe s. Okay, possessive case. What do you mean by possessive case? Possessive case means denoting ownership. Okay, denoting an ownership. Okay, so we know formation of possessive case, we usually denote them by apostrophe s. See, when I say this is example, that is Ram's bike. See, when I said that is Ram's bike, here I have used apostrophe s to denote the ownership, that is ownership of Ram, right? That is Ram's bike. That bike belongs to Ram. Okay, so here, apostrophe s denotes ownership. Now I'll give you a sentence. See, I'll write you a sentence. This is Rita's scooter. No, we don't use Rita. This is Abbas's scooter. Okay. When I say this is Abbas's scooter, what's the error here? There is something wrong in this sentence. What is it? Tell me the correction. I don't want you to guess where the error is. That, see, what we'll see in our classes are, we don't usually give you spot the error type. Okay, just spot the error. In an exercise, spot the error. What they ask you is, they ask you to spot in which part is there an error. Okay, but in our class we are not going to see that way. We are going to see what's the error and how to correct. Okay, because in this way we can answer two exercises. We can also answer spot the error. We can also answer sentence improvement. Okay, these two topics we can cover by our method. Okay, we just do not go to spot the error alone. We'll see where the error is and how to correct them. Okay. So this is Abbas's scooter. What's the error here? And what's the right one? Do you have any idea? We'll check up with you. Okay, we'll check up. I'll tell you the answer. You can check up whether it is right or wrong. Okay, you can answer, you can mark yourself. You can give marks to yourself. Okay. Okay, this is Abbas's scooter. So here we should never use S. Okay. To indicate ownership, use only the apostrophe and not s. Why? Why? Because this sentence, this Abbas, this noun, okay, Abbas is the name of a person, right? Okay, so Abbas is ending with s. Abbas is ending with s. Okay, the rule is when a noun ends with s, use only the apostrophe and not apostrophe s to denote ownership. Okay, to denote ownership or possessive case, when a noun ends with s, use only the apostrophe and not apostrophe s. Okay, hope you guys understood. Okay, when a noun ends with s, or you can also say sh. See, when I say Suresh, this is Suresh's scooter. No, you don't say this is Suresh's scooter. Okay, so in that way also you should not use apostrophe s, you should use only the apostrophe. Remember, I'll tell you again, when a noun ends with s, use only the apostrophe and not apostrophe s. Okay, s or sh. Okay, so the next one, Justice's true color are exposed. Justice's true color, was exposed. Justice's true color was exposed. Okay, what's the error here? Can you guess the error? Okay, the same error applies to this sentence as well. That is, you shouldn't use s. You should use only the apostrophe and not apostrophe s. Okay, because when a noun ends with hissing sound, you can say justice. Yeah, it is ending with hissing sound, right? Like Jesus. We say they are ending with hissing sound. When a noun ends with hissing sound, use only the apostrophe and not apostrophe s. Okay? Okay. The women's gym is nearby. The women's gym is nearby. So, what most of you guys will say is, women is already plural, right? Women is already plural, so you should not use s with it. Women is already plural, so you should not use s with it. No, that's not the case here, because we are not using apostrophe s just to indicate plural form. Okay, we are denoting apostrophe s to indicate possessive case and not the plural form. Okay, we are not going to the plural form, you are indicating only the possessive case. Okay, so here when I say women's gym, that sentence is right. You need not say, you need not change it. Okay, there is no grammatical error here. This sentence as it is grammatically right. Okay, we can use possessive form for plural noun as well. We can use possessive form for plural noun as well. The girls' team is about to win. Okay, the girls' team is about to win. Okay, here what's the error? In this sentence, again, you shouldn't use s, you should use only the apostrophe and not the apostrophe s. Okay, just in the previous sentence, I told you guys that we can use a possessive case for plural form, right? We can use possessive case for plural form. Okay, so how do you convert singular to plural? How do you convert a word from singular to plural? You just add s, es or ies. Yeah? Yes, you add s, es or ies. By adding them, you convert them from singular to plural. Yeah, that's right. Here, girl is singular. Girl is singular. Girls are plural. Okay. Here, girls are plural. Now, yeah, this point is right. We can use possessive case for plural form, but this is contradicting with the first rule. This is contradicting with the first rule. What did we say in the first rule? We said when a noun is ending with s, we shouldn't use apostrophe s, we should always use just the apostrophe. Now, girls is, even though it is a plural noun, it is ending with s. Okay, this woman is not ending with s, but this girls is ending with s. Okay, when a noun ends with s, use only the apostrophe and not the apostrophe s. Okay, next one. Okay. The table's wood is infested with mite. Okay. The table's wood is infested with mite. Okay. In this sentence, what's the error? The table's wood is infested with mite. What's the error in this sentence? What's the error? You cannot say this sentence has no error. It has an error. What is the error? This sentence has an error. It is not a no error sentence. Okay. For the non-living things, okay. For the non-living things, what you say is the wood of the table. You shouldn't say table's wood. You should say the wood of the table. Okay. You shouldn't say the book's cover. You should say cover of the book. You shouldn't say the legs of the chair. You should always say, sorry, chair. You shouldn't say chair's legs. Okay, this is not right. You should say the legs of the chair. The legs of the chair. Okay, so this sentence. So we saw only the point number 1 so far. Okay, now we'll go to the point number 2. Okay, we saw all these things under point number 1. Okay, they were the exceptional cases. Now we'll see point number 2. When I tell you, like, I have bought some jewelries. I have bought some jewelries. Okay, I'm telling you, like, I have bought some jewelries. In this sentence, what's the error here? Okay, this word jewelries doesn't exist. Okay, you do not have a word as jewelries. That doesn't exist a word. Okay, what I'm trying to say is there are some nouns. There are some nouns that do not have any plural form. There are some nouns that do not have any plural form. They have only the singular form. Okay, there are some nouns that have only the singular form and not the plural form. I'll give you some example. You cannot use alphabets. Alphabets is wrong. Okay, you should always say alphabet. And then information, and then luggage, okay, and scenery. Okay, so you have only the singular form or not the plural form. Okay, for these nouns you have only the singular form or not the plural form. See, when I say so point number 3, we'll go to point number 3. Okay, I'll give you an example. When I say cattle, okay, when I say cattle, cattle is in singular form, right? It doesn't have s, es or is at the end of it. It does not have s, es or is at the end of it. So cattle is a singular form noun, okay? Cattle is a singular form noun. But do we say a single cow or a single sheep or a single goat as a cattle? No, we do not say them as cattle. We say when there is a group of goats, sheep or cows, we call them cattle. Okay, so there are some nouns, and what I'm trying to say is there are some nouns, even though they are not in plural form, even though they do not have es, es or is with them, we use them as plural. We use them as plural, and they always follow plural verb. They always have plural verb with them. Okay, I'll give you some other examples like cattle, infantry, poultry, government, police. Okay, see what I'm trying to say is although these nouns do not have es, es or is at the end of them, we always consider them plural and they use plural form of verb. And there are some nouns, okay, there are some nouns that end with s. There are some nouns, even though they are ending with s, we always consider them singular. Even though they are ending with s, we always consider them singular. For example, when I say physics, mathematics, ethics, innings, news. Okay, so all these nouns, even though they have s at the end of them, we always consider them singular and not plural, and they always have singular form of verb with them, Okay, so what's the next point? Okay, I'll tell you. There are some nouns, okay, there are some nouns and they do not have any singular form. They always have plural form. They do not have any singular form. See, for example, when I say spectacles, scissors, trousers, shoes, okay. All these nouns do not have any singular form. They always have only the plural form. See, when I say, and they always take plural verb, okay. They always have plural form and they always take plural verb, okay. Why there is only plural form and not singular form is I'll tell you. See, when I say trousers, this is what I mean by trousers, okay. But when you guys say trouser, not trousers, when you say just trouser, it means this. This is what we call trouser, okay. Can we use this one alone? Can we use this? No, right? We cannot use them alone, okay. We have to use them together. We can only use them together when they are two. See, when I say scissors, two cross edges are there, right? And when they clash only we can cut. Okay. So this is why we call them. We do not. This is why I tell you, that is, they do not have any singular form. They always have plural form because they do not exist individually. They can be used only with the pair. Okay, spectacles. We cannot say I cannot use a single eye. Okay, I cannot use a monocle. Okay, I have to use both to see, right? Okay. So that is why we have only the plural form, and they always take plural verb with them. Okay, but to denote only one thing. See, when I say spectacle, I have only one spectacle. You cannot say like that. You have to say a pair of spectacles. Okay, you have to say a pair of spectacles. It means only a single one. Okay, a single spectacles you have. It means you have to say a pair of spectacles and not spectacle and not a single spectacle. That one is also wrong. I'm just telling you to grasp the content. Okay, I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to say. Okay, they do not have any singular form. They have only the plural form, and they take always plural verb. Okay, so the next one, singular, plural. Okay. When a noun is repeated, okay, when a noun is repeated before and after a preposition, when a noun is repeated, that is, same noun is used before and after a preposition, that noun should always be in singular form. That noun should always be in singular form. Okay, see, what I'm trying to say is, I can say I read the Bible. I read the book. I read the book. I read the book. Pages by pages. Is this right? I read the book pages by pages. Can we say that? No. See, by is a preposition and we are repeating the same noun before and after it. By is a preposition and we are repeating the same preposition before and after it. So, that noun should be in singular form and not in plural. You shouldn't say pages. You should say page by page. Okay? You should say page by page. You say step by step. Row upon row. Row upon row. Town after town. Okay? So, hope you guys get it. Okay? When a noun is repeated before and after a preposition, try to follow a notebook for English. Okay? You may grasp the content very easily. You can also revise it later. Okay? Step by step, row upon row, town after town. Okay? I'll repeat the rule again. When a noun is repeated before and after a preposition, always use, so the noun should always be in singular form. That noun should always be in singular form. Okay. I'll write it down, the another one. When a definite numerical adjective is used before a noun, is used before a noun, it should be in, the noun should be in, the noun should be in singular form. The noun should be in singular form. I'll tell you what are the nouns. Okay, these nouns should be in this form. That is, we can say pair, dozen, 100, million, 1,000. Okay, these are the nouns. Okay, for example, when I tell you he bought 10 dozens oranges. He bought 10 dozens oranges. Okay, here what the rule implies is when you have a definite numerical adjective, I do not say a few or some or many or several. I am using a definite number, that is 10. When a definite numerical adjective is used before a noun, this is the noun. Okay, When a definite numerical adjective is used before a noun, the noun should be in singular form. You should not use here dozens, you should use dozen, okay. This is the rule that is implying, okay. He bought 10 dozen oranges. No ma'am, I want to use only 10 dozens. How shall I change this sentence? Okay, if you want to use 10 dozens together, you can change this sentence. Like I can say he bought 10 dozens of orange. I can say he bought 10 dozens of orange. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, hope you guys get it. Okay, this is the last rule. He bought 10 dozen oranges, right? We can also say he bought 10 dozens of orange. Okay, this sentence, both the sentences are right. I'm just trying to imply the rule in this sentence. I'm just trying to imply the rule in this sentence, nothing else. Okay, both the sentences are right. You can write them in the both way. Okay. Now we are done with the exercise. Okay, we are done with the topics. Now we'll go through some exercise. We'll go through some questions so that we could revise whatever we have gone through in this class. Okay, so questions. So the first question: the mother-in-laws gathered together to discuss the issue. Okay, that's a typo here. R is not necessary here. Okay, the mother-in-laws gathered together to discuss the issue. Okay, the mother-in-laws gathered together to discuss the issue. Okay, here mother-in-laws, okay, which means not a single mother-in-law, we have some more also, like my sister's mother-in-law as well, and my brother's mother-in-law as well, and my brother-in-law as well. Okay, so we have 3 mother-in-laws. Okay, so to denote plural form, you should not imply them in in-laws. Okay, in-laws just denotes the spouse family. In-laws just denotes the spouse's family. In that one, you should not use singular or plural. To indicate singular or plural, you should use them with the first word, that is mothers-in-law. You should say mothers-in-law, or you can say brothers-in-law, you can say sisters-in-law. You should not use singular or plural form in the in-law. In-law denotes only the spouse's family. Never use singular or plural form with them. Okay. So next one. Unfortunately, the new scissor I bought yesterday are blunt. Okay, the new scissor. We do not have a word as scissor. It doesn't exist. Okay, we always use scissors. Okay, so this sentence, the new scissors. Okay, are blunt. We see scissors is plural, and that's why we are using are blunt and not is blunt, because plural always have plural verb. Okay, next one. The sceneries of Kashmir are extremely lovely. Sceneries. Okay, sceneries is very wrong. I already told you we have only the scenery, singular form. So you should replace sceneries by scenery. Okay, the scenery of Kashmir, then we cannot say are extremely lovely because scenery is singular. Then we have to use is extremely lovely. Okay, you shouldn't use are extremely lovely, is extremely lovely. Okay, next one. My father always brings home 5 dozens apples. My father always brings home 5 dozens apples. You can say 5 dozen apples, or you can say 5 dozens of apple. Both the sentences are right. You can say 5 dozen apples or 5 dozens of apple. Both the sentences are right. Okay. So next one. This hut is made up of bricks. This hut is made up of bricks. You do not have a word bricks. Okay. It doesn't exist. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 10 or 100, you always say brick and not bricks. Okay, bricks is wrong. Okay, next one. Politics without doubt are today a game for corrupts. Okay, politics without doubt are today a game for corrupts. Politics, just like innings, economics, physics, mathematics, politics is also singular. Even though it is ending with s, it is considered singular. So we should use singular verb with it. Okay, are is wrong. We should use is today, not are today. Okay, are is wrong. We should replace it by is. Okay. Question number 7. Okay, I have already written this question here. The table's wood is infested with mite. It should be the wood of the table. Okay. Next one, a pair of spectacles have been found in the library. A pair of spectacles, which means single pair. So you should use singular and not plural. So have is wrong, you should use has. If I say spectacles have been found, that sentence is right. When I say a pair of spectacles, you have to consider it singular. Okay. So next one, he knocked out 4 tooths in a single punch. Okay. What is the plural form of tooth? It is teeth and not tooths. Okay. So the plural form of tooth is teeth and not tooths. Okay. So the last one, he badly needs 2 pairs of boots. Okay. He badly needs 2 pairs of boots. When I say 2 dozens of, this one should be singular, right? When I say dozens of orange, this one should be singular. But here in this sentence, I am saying 2 pairs of boots. Sorry, 2 pairs of boots, yeah. So that should be converted into boot, is it? No. Boots, just like spectacles, just like shoes, just like trousers, boots can always be used together. It cannot be used single. Okay, you cannot use a single boot. You have to use them together. So just like spectacles, boots does not have any singular form. Boots does not have any singular form, and that's why we use boots here. And this sentence is grammatically right. You do not change it. You can change a sentence in 100 million way. You can change a sentence, okay? But what I am trying to say is, change it only if there is an error. I am asking you to change the sentence only if it has an error. In this sentence, it does not have an error because boots does not have a singular form. It has only the plural form. So that's why we are using boots here, and this sentence is grammatically right. You need not change it, okay? So that's it with the noun classes. We'll see the next classes next day. Okay, thank you guys. Bye bye.